Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these cute little macrame ornaments with cinnamon sticks. They are adorable, they make the perfect present, so let's get started. What are you going to need to start this project? First, get some thread or yarn to hold the cinnamon stick. Then you're going to get some 3mm cord. These are the two different colors I used and I'll link them below. Then you need cinnamon sticks, tape to hold your macrame in place. Don't forget scissors and a comb to brush it out. So your first step, what you're going to want to do is pull out that cord. Okay, so when we're looking at length for this cord, we're going to do about 26 inches, which is a little bit more than 60 centimeters. So what I would do is, if you are new to macrame, I would actually do it a little bit longer. If you notice, my brown one is a little bit longer, whereas my white one's shorter. So if you want a longer look, always go with longer cord. That's something I've figured out with macrame, that always go longer than you think you're going to need. So we're going to use 5 of these strings of cord, and I just go back and forth and cut them so that I get 5 of them in a row. You have all 5, you're gonna set those aside, and that is all the cord you need to make one of these. So you can put away your cord, and what you're gonna pull out next is your thread or your yarn that you're going to be using, because we're getting ready to go ahead and put those little hangers on top of the cinnamon stick. So you're gonna cut those a little bit longer, and then you're gonna make this loop. I found that it was easier to actually make a loop beforehand, so then I could just attach the cinnamon stick like harder, and also kind of hide where the tie is gonna end up being. So the cinnamon stick actually has this like perfect spot for you to go ahead and slide in this string. So again, you're gonna tie the knot before you slide it in, so that you can attach it right through there and hide it kind of behind the back of it, so you don't see where the knot is. And I'm just pulling it through the edges. It's gonna give a little way to it, and then I can just pull tight through the bottom and then cut off the extra string so you don't see the back of it. Now you have your cute little macrame holder, and you're gonna kind of hang it so that you are seeing the part that doesn't have the cord. You can do it either way. If you notice, the brown one I did with, you could see the cord, and the white one I didn't, which I like it better where you can't see it. Now you're gonna go ahead and tape up your cute little stick so that it holds still, because that's one of the biggest things in macrame, is how wiggly everything is while you work on it. So I've used command strips, I've used all sorts of things. So for this one, because it's so small, I'm just gonna tape it. All right, first thing you're gonna do is fold your first string in half, and we are just going to do what's known as a lark's head knot. So you're gonna put it above, go under, and pull it through, and I kind of pull on each string to get it tight. So I'm gonna put 2 on this. I'm gonna put 1 directly into the middle, and then I'm going to put 1 to the left. So I'm gonna end up with 2. So again, you're gonna go over the top so it's got that cute little loop on the bottom, which is actually gonna be part of the little arch at the end. Now you are going to take the second string and go across. This is known as your holding cord. So you're going over the top to make a loop. Your holding cord stays the same until you get to the very end. So I looped it so it's got a cute little knot, and then I'm gonna go over the top again and underneath to create it. So you're always doing this in two. So over and over. So there's the first one. Now you're going to the second string, over the top and through the bottom. Your holding cord stays exactly the same, over the top, through the bottom. You're always doing these in sets of two. So I got to the end now, and now I'm kind of scooting them together, scooching them close to each other. Now I'm gonna go over the top to make another top piece. So you go over the top and back through, just like I did with the other thing, but instead I'm doing it on the cinnamon stick to create that little loop. And now I'm gonna go across. So tighten it up good, and then you're going across and under and back through the loop. If you need to rewatch it a few times, that's totally fine. When I was learning how to do this loop and these knots, I had to watch it over and over and over again and keep practicing. So once you get it though, it's something you can't unsee. It's a beautiful thing. So go ahead, you've now done one part of it. Now we're gonna add the next layer. So on the right side, you're gonna attach, so wherever you end is where you're gonna attach a new one. So you're gonna go ahead and do another lark's head knot over the top and put the cords through and pull it tight again. Now taking the second cord from the right, you're gonna go across, and you are going to grab them in order. So make sure you're grabbing them in like the first one. You're gonna go over the top and through. You're just doing it backwards to the way you did it on the opposite side, but it's always over the top and through to create that knot. And you can see I keep pulling out my yarn, which is okay. I just put it back in and tighten it up again, and I'm good to go. So I did the first one there, so now I'm gonna go ahead and do the second one. Go across, so you've got your holding cord that stays exactly the same. You're gonna go over the top and through, pull and adjust, over the top, pull and adjust. Continue till you've finished this last cord over the top, and what you might end up with is a little bit of space, and that's okay. Like if there's a gap, they're not super tight together, that's okay. You can literally do exactly what I'm doing. I'm kind of just pulling them so that they separate a little bit and they're not as tight on one side. So I'm kind of pulling, adjusting so that it looks like they all go across the whole macrame piece a little bit more in sequence. So you can just move things along. That's the beauty in the holding cord, is everything on it you can adjust because the holding cord never creates a knot through that whole thing. All right, now we are to the other side. Now we go over the top and pull the cord through. And we're creating that little knot again. So over the top. Now we're going under and pulling through. So it's just over the top of that cord, sorry, not over the top of the cinnamon stick again, you're going under. So it's an over, under to create the knots on the top. Now you're gonna pull and adjust the whole set as we get ready for the next one. attaching another lark's head knot on the other side. So over and then pulling the two strings through and tightening them along the side. Now we are going to take this second string again, so not the end string, and go in order over the top and through. And if you can see right here, I pull this part through and then I pull up the knot to the top, over the top and through. And you continue on to the next one. You're creating this perfect, I've heard this called like a little lunar, so it's like like the moon half circle. I've heard all sorts of things. It reminds me of like making a rainbow arch. So you're just going over the top and through, over and over and over again until you get to that end piece. So again, I'm going to go across and start adjusting and making sure that it's all working together and it goes across the whole top. And then I'm going to take it over the top and through, just like I did on all of the times with this cinnamon stick. So with the cinnamon stick, it's over. And then the next part is under the cinnamon stick. So under, and then go over the top and pull it through, and then adjust. So if you have a shorter cinnamon stick or a longer cinnamon stick, you can continue to add. You don't have to just do 5. That's just what I did for the length of pattern, so you can also see the cute little stick part sticking out. So go ahead and add your 5th and final lark's head knot to the other side. I hope you are getting like the rhythm and the pattern to it. Because truly, I mean, this could be a giant piece and you could just continue doing this and creating this really pretty look to it. So go ahead and tighten it, adjust it, and we're going to grab that second cord over again and make sure you are grabbing them in order because sometimes they hide. So make sure you're getting them in the right order. So over the top and through across to the other side. right, we made it to the other side. Now up and over and through. If you can tell, it's starting to get a little tight, so you kind of got to wiggle things through to make it fit. And then go ahead and put it under and through. And once you're kind of finished, you're gonna spend some time adjusting and kind of making sure all of it looks good, like there's not giant gaps in between. And if it's your first one and you've got giant gaps, be proud of those giant gaps, because at least you tried. It gets easier and easier the more that you practice. So now it's got like a bow shape to it, like it bows almost like a little bowl. So what you do is you hold it together and you kind of push and pop it out. And that's how you're gonna get it to lay flat, because as you're doing it, it naturally has a curve to it. So I always go based off the shortest one and kind of go in this curve. I'm very much of an eyeballing person. You can definitely measure this. But for me, I just kind of follow the curve of this stick. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get my brush. Mine's a macrame brush. I can have it linked below, but you can just use like a regular comb. But I'm gonna go ahead and brush this out. And as I'm brushing it out, I'm gonna start to notice the lengths, right? I'm noticing that like some of the sides, there's a little bit extra. So that's where I'm gonna go back and give it like a nice little trim so it lays flat. This is why if you want it to be longer, you're gonna use extra cord to make sure that it stays that longer shape that you like. And that's it. You did it. You created your little macrame ornament that is absolutely adorable. Seriously, these are going to be such cute gifts, such cute toppers for gifts. Just hang them all on your own tree. They are so much fun, and I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials. Have a fantastic Christmas.